All right, so this video we have been very excited to do. Excited might not be the right word. It was like a little bit nerve-wracking coming up with the numbers and what it really cost us. But what this video is a breakdown of exactly what it cost us to do our first leg of travel, which is our first 2 cruises on the Emerald Princess.
Right. Now, you'd think it would be pretty easy just to come up with the numbers because we prepaid for the cruise, but this is also going to include all the money we spent off the ship and any extras that we might have occurred along the way.
Right. And we are also going to be doing, because I know a lot of you are going to hear these numbers and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
We knew this was going to be a lot of money. This is Northern Europe. These are areas we've had on our radar for a long time, but we have had to just kind of keep pushing them off or getting just a little taste of them because of how expensive it was. So towards the end, we're also going to be sharing with you, had we not chosen to do it by cruise, but chose to do it the other way of like getting to each location and seeing these places,
Right.
what
Doing
would
it
it
on
cost?
our own.
Yeah.
Yes. What would it have cost? And we'll also share with you some insights on how we were able to make this affordable. Okay, we're going to break this down the best way we can. These are 2 back-to-back cruises. Now, the first cruise was 14 nights, and we're going to focus on that one first.
Right. And so for this one, we went to 7 different ports. We did miss our first port, which was Cornwall, England. That was due to weather. So our first stop really then was Cork, Ireland.
Yeah, and it was Cork Island, but we didn't even actually go into Cork. We stayed in Cobh, which was a really cute little town. Had a great day. Got my hair cut. I actually got my hair cut twice over the course of the extended part of the cruises that we were on.
In the same location,
in the same barbershop. Yes, it's such a great haircut.
Yeah.
The first time I went back and got another one. So it was a month later, but it worked out great. So that was fun, but that wasn't the highlight of the trip.
No. Highlight and the whole point of this part of our cruise was to go to Iceland. We made 4 stops in Iceland. I'm going to read them to you because they're all a little different. So Reykjavik, Grundarfjörður, Ísafjörður, Akureyri, Iceland. And one of those places we actually ended up not even getting off the ship. We did stop there though, but the weather was really so horrible that a lot of people just chose not to get off the ship.
Right, and now we're talking September, early September, so weather was an issue throughout that, but not to the point where we didn't have a great time.
No, because all of the other stops that we were at were absolutely fine. It was really just that one that there wasn't a lot to see there, and so we just chose not to get off the ship.
So after Iceland, we made our way back to Orkney Islands, which was probably my highlight, I would say. I had a great day. We took a bus tour. We saw some ruins. We stopped at a brewery. Whenever we stop at a brewery and see ruins on the same day, it's a hit for me. It's a good day.
Yeah,
it's a good day.
Now from Orkney Islands, Kirkwall, we then made our way to Belfast, Ireland. And then after that, we were done with this leg of the cruise and we went back to Southampton in England. All right, so that covers the stops that we made during that. And now we're going to give you what it costs to do this portion of the trip.
So the total cruise costs for those 14 nights was $3,502.
And these are prices for both of us when we're sharing them. Now, we also chose to get the Wi-Fi gratuity, like the whole package, which includes your Wi-Fi, your gratuity, and the drinks. And that was, a lot of you are going to be like, holy crap, $1,680. And that was just for the 14 days. So, but it's a necessity for us. We work online. We need the Wi-Fi. In a little bit here, we'll kind of break down the reasoning behind that, because when you actually break down the numbers, it's not as scary as what it may kind of seem up front.
And I also know some of you are going to ask, oh, so you still work. You work online. Where do you work? What do you do? Well, you're watching it. This is what we do.
That's what we do.
We need the Wi-Fi for YouTube. So that's what she means by working online. Now, how much money did we spend off the ship when we went into ports? We did some hot springs. We took some taxi cabs. We got ourselves a few beers. We indulged in a few snacks and whatnot. We spent $526 off the ship.
Which I'm going to add, that was majority of that spend in Reykjavik in Iceland because we went to the hot springs. So that pretty much was almost all of that was for that one day. So, all right, now we have the total cost for all of it, and that is $5,182. It is high. It's a lot of money. We knew that going in. None of this comes by any level of surprise to us. But for these areas, as we're going to discuss here in a second, to go to these areas, it's just expensive.
It's expensive to do no matter how you do it. So this is the way we chose to do it, for the simplicity of the whole thing. So no, we weren't shocked. We weren't surprised. That's why you don't see that on the thumbnail, because we weren't shocked or surprised.
We
knew how much it was going to cost. So those are the facts. That's how much money we spent on a 14-day cruise. Now, how much would we have spent if we were to do this all on our own, with renting cars, accommodations, food, and everything else included? Now, we did some research and we came up with some answers.
Right. So the research we did is going to be middle of the line, average, like for a hotel, car, and meals and everything like that. Now, if you travel a certain time of year that it's higher, it's obviously going to be higher than that. And maybe you can get it for lower other times of the year. But just so we're covered here, it's kind of middle range. Now, what these prices are also including is it's going to be including the hotel cost to stay in these areas. It's going to be including having each of us having like a snack for breakfast, each having a full lunch and dinner, and then one beer, which is a super sad thing to hear for both of us. But we tried to keep it so one beer per day and then 1 cup of coffee per day each. So that's what the prices are for here. Now, our first stop would be in Cobb, and that we put down for 2 days, and that would be $564.
From there, we went to Iceland. Iceland's expensive. So for 5 nights, 3 stops, we would have spent $1,905.
Now, next, you're going to make your way to Orkney Islands. You're going to at least need 3 nights because you got to fly there. So we, like we said, we allowed 3 nights, and that would be $948.
And then 2 nights in Belfast is going to cost you approximately $742. That does not include the Black Cab tour that we heard so much about.
We've totally missed out.
That we missed out on. We didn't do it, and we apologize for not doing it because it was a missed opportunity, and we're kind of bummed that we didn't do it. So it does not include that. You might want to do that.
Now, next, you're going to have some flights. We figured that a lot of these places you're driving in between the locations, but then some of them you're going to have to fly. And so flights are going to run you about $600 at least to just get to those locations. That was for 2 different flights.
Yeah, and what about that car? You got to rent a car, especially in Iceland. That's something you definitely want to do. That's going to cost you about $720.
And we figured that was for what? For 8 days was what we figured, and that was for being able to use it in Iceland and Ireland because, we figured you might want to have one in both.
Probably not the same car.
No.
Different car.
Totally different car. It's going to be way more expensive the other way. Now, this is just kind of giving you an idea of what path you could do. Obviously, you'd mix it up, change it up, whatever, but we kind of wanted to just be able to compare for ourselves as well. What would it have cost us if we had gotten on the ground and done this?
So the total cost of doing it yourself, and again, it could cost you more, it could cost you less, but for what we figured out, it was going to be about $5,479.
Right. And so that is more than what we spent. And the other thing to keep in mind, that price does not include anything extra. We had the extra costs with like $500 and some in the beginning one, and that brought us with a total of $5,182. So doing it by cruise ship ended up saving us money, we feel. Because like I said, if we had added on the excursion of being able to go to the Lagoon and any of the other things that we did, and we certainly weren't probably just going to have one beer,
probably not.
It was going to cost us a lot more. Yeah. So we do, even though it was a lot of money, we feel like we saved a lot of money as well. So now let's jump on to second part of the cruise.
The second part of the cruise, the more expensive side of the cruise.
Yeah, because it was called the Oktoberfest cruise. So.
Yes. So the second cruise, now remember, we didn't get off the ship. We stayed put, which was actually pretty cool.
It was really nice.
Yeah, we stayed on the ship. Second half of the cruise was 12 nights.
And 7 ports as well. Unfortunately, we missed our first port. Now, we're only counting the ports that we actually did make it into, so there would have been more. We missed our first port, which was Brussels, Belgium, which
Carrie
I was
so
sad about.
Man, she got cranky. It was. It's a rough
We
day.
had missed
It was
other
a
ones.
rough day.
We had missed other ones, and it didn't bother me that much, but this one did bother me. So our next stop, though, was in Amsterdam, which actually Rotterdam. We went into Amsterdam.
It wasn't that rough of a day. It took about 5 minutes, and she got over
Yes.
it. But we did go to Amsterdam, which was a great rainy day.
It was. But it was on our bucket list, so it was great to get there.
We had a good time.
Next stop was in Oslo, Norway. I will point out that I kind of was like, yeah, whatever. It's Oslo. It's a big city. I was not excited about it. Blew me away. We say we don't get surprised or shocked by anything. I wasn't surprised and shocked, but I was, I told Brian numerous times, like, I'm so glad that we ended up coming here on the ship because we probably would have not gone there otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, and we probably wouldn't have gone to Gothenburg either. Gothenburg, Sweden was also a fun little stop.
It was.
And then from there, where did we go from there? We went to Copenhagen. And we had a great day in Copenhagen.
Right.
Copenhagen might have been the highlight of this half of the cruise for me.
It was a very big highlight. It was such a cool place.
Yeah.
And then next we stopped in Aarhus, Denmark. Same thing. It was another small little town. Not a whole lot to see and do there, but it was cute. We found a cute little brewery or like a little place to hang out and had a lot of fun.
Hamburg, Germany during Oktoberfest. Sounds fantastic. We had a great day looking for that really cool Oktoberfest party scene.
Yeah.
But we were there in the middle of the day.
And middle of the week.
In the middle of the week. So if you're looking for a place to go, there are 4 locations in that video that you could go to sometime in the evening, probably on the weekend is your best bet.
And then our last stop on this leg was in Le Havre, France. We actually didn't get off the ship that day, and we'll explain why, or we'll just explain now. We were going to be going there 2 more times on the next ship. And so we kind of this was a heavy load of a lot of sightseeing. We needed a day to get some laundry done and just kind of have some peace and quiet.
Get some editing done.
Yeah, and get some work done. Yeah, we had been busy. So, okay, so that is all of the places that we went on this one. Like we said, this one was a little bit more expensive of a leg because it was considered the Oktoberfest capital tour. Yeah, capital city tour.
So the cruise cost for this part of the cruise was $3,125. So per night, it was more expensive than the last cruise.
Yeah. And so same for our gratuity package and a Wi-Fi and drinks. That was $1,440. Once again for 12 nights. So a lot of money.
So off the ship, money spent. The majority of that was in Hamburg, drinking beers and eating some of those brats.
Yes. It was a fun day.
That was a fun day. So that cost, not just that day, but off-ship money spent throughout that cruise was $292.
So that brings us for the total cost of everything was $4,592. So about the same as the cruise, but it was for less time.
Right.
So. All right, so same thing. What if we chose to do this area by ourselves? Now, you would think this would cost maybe a little bit less because a lot of these areas would be a little more connected by car, or not by car, but by train.
Yeah.
But here is kind of the breakdown. Once again, to remind you, this is just your average hotel. It's going to include your meals, and it's going to include 1 beer each, and it's going to include 1 coffee each a day.
Right. Now, I already know what kind of comments we're going to get is, no, that's not how much it costs. I did it for this much money. That's awesome. That's great. You did a good job. These are our numbers that we came up with, our research. For 2 nights in Amsterdam, you're going to pay about $628.
All right. And then in Oslo, Norway, you're going to pay about $676 for 2 nights. And the one thing that I will point out is when we talk about, this is moving fast.
Yes.
You're packing those bags and you're moving to each location. So I want to point that out if you're at all going like, well, that sounds totally doable.
We could do that. Well, we don't want to.
It's a lot of moving.
Right. Gothenburg, Sweden, you're going to pay for 2 nights about $472.
Okay, and then in Copenhagen, we had down 2 nights. It's going to be about $838. Copenhagen's expensive. Everything around it's expensive.
Aarhus, Denmark, you're going to spend another $772 for those 2 nights.
Now, Hamburg for 2 nights is going to run you $548.
Plus, you're probably going to be spending a lot more on beer.
Like
too,
I said, we only factored in a little bit. Yeah.
So that's going to cost you a little bit more. And then we get into the trains in between. Transportation, you're looking at about $600.
Now that gives you a total price of $4,478. So once again, the prices are right around each other, but oh my gosh, we thought about that during the time of being on the cruise and going and seeing all these things, knowing when we were done that day of having a long day of sightseeing, we could just come back, have something to eat. Everything's prepared for us, have more drinks. Everything is just ready. Not packing our bags, not figuring out what train we're taking tomorrow or where we're staying in 2 days or whatever.
What we're going to go eat. You know, we came back, I think it was from Amsterdam. It was a 2-hour train ride to get in, 2 hours to get back.
Yeah.
We were soaking wet, walking to the ship. And it was about a 20-minute, 30-minute walk from the train station to the ship. And I remember rolling up to the ship. I go, thank God we just need to go up, get dry clothes on, and go grab some food.
Yeah.
It's that easy. And that was kind of the biggest bonus for us throughout this whole experience.
It was. And this was such a new experience for us cruising like this. We've cruised a bit in the past, but not necessarily with the purpose to see so many areas. And I would say that we had a really great experience with this, and we'll go bigger into depth with that later, of like pros, cons, and all of that. But I would say that if you are looking to travel, if you want to be on the ground and you want to do it yourself, then all power to you. We've done that in the past. It's definitely doable. I think it's going to be very trying.
It is going to be very trying. It's an adventure. It is a fun way to travel. We've done it. It wears us out. So we don't want to do it again.
No.
There might be stretches moving forward where we take a train through Europe and move quickly for a couple of weeks. Yes, that might happen, but not for 2 months.
Right. All right. Well, we hope that this is helpful to you if you are looking at cruising, and especially cruising in some of these more expensive areas, to kind of see how it breaks down and what that cost comparison is. Like we said, that right after this cruise, we then jumped onto the cruise we're on now. And so all those videos will be coming to you, as well as a breakdown of what those costs are. This one will look a little bit different because a big portion of this cruise that we are currently on is a repositioning cruise. So it has a little more benefit as well, and the cost breakdown is a little different.
Now, we don't want to make everything sound perfect, because it's not. We will have a pros and cons video about cruising and our overall thoughts about the whole situation coming up soon.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.